اليوم على مدار يومين، اليوم وغدا سيتم خلال الاجتماع أيضا دراسة سبل التعاون في ظل آلية الأفريقول وكذا دعم التعاون الشرطي بين الدول الإفريقية المشاركة. نتابع.
عرفاننا وعظيم شكرنا لفخامة الرئيس عبد العزيز بوتفليقة وللجزائر حكومة وشعبا على احتضان مقر أفريبول وعلى الترتيبات المتميزة وجميع التسهيلات المقدمة لاستضافة أعمال هذه الجمعية. كما أجدد شكرنا وامتناننا للرئيس عبد العزيز بوتفليقة على مواصلة إشرافه على جهود القارة في مكافحة الإرهاب والتطرف العنيف بعد أن وسمه رفاقه والقادة الأفارقة بهذه المسؤولية كما تعلمون منذ سنتين. كما أود أيضا أن أشكر السيد المدير العام للأمن الوطني الجزائري مصطفى الحبيري بصفته رئيس الجمعية العامة للأفريبول على الدعم الهائل الذي ظلت الشرطة الجزائرية تقدمه منذ تأسيس هذه المؤسسة. معالي الوزير، أصحاب السعادة، السيدات والسادة، لا شك أن هذا المنتدى يعي كامل التحديات الأمنية والاقتصادية والاجتماعية التي تفرضها الجريمة المنظمة عبر الأوطان، ليس فقط على القارة الأفريقية ولكن على المستوى العالمي أيضا. فاليوم تواجه جميع دولنا مجموعة من التهديدات المعقدة والمتنامية العابرة للحدود، وتمتد تلك التهديدات من جميع أشكال الاتجار غير المشروع بما في ذلك البشر والكائنات البرية والمخدرات والأسلحة إلى الاستغلال غير القانوني للموارد الطبيعية، بالإضافة طبعا إلى الإرهاب البغيض، حيث تتنامى الشبكات الإجرامية وتتنوع أنشطتها الغير مشروعة بما يؤدي إلى تقارب وتفاقم تلك التهديدات. وفي الوقت الذي تسعى فيه القارة الإفريقية إلى تحقيق الإطار الاستراتيجي للخطة الخمسينية للتحول الاجتماعي والاقتصادي لقارتنا، تواصل الجريمة المنظمة عبر الأوطان في تأجيج الصراع المسلح والإرهاب وحرمان الشعوب الإفريقية من التمتع بثرواتها واستغلالها للتنمية المستدامة. واسمحوا لي معالي الوزير والحضور الكريم أن نقدم بعض الأمثلة عن الكيفية التي تقوض بها الجريمة المنظمة أمن إفريقيا وتنميتها. First, armed groups in the Central Africa region draws revenue from taxing and providing security to the illegal exploitation of mineral resources. Illicitly mined minerals are known to be smuggled out of the country through neighboring states and into international illicit markets, and hereby compromising the mineral traceability system in place. Armed groups in the region have also resorted to wildlife poaching and illegal lodging. The illicit trade in flora and fauna is supported by wide and intricate transnational organized crime networks that span several countries in Africa, Asia, and beyond. These criminal activities not only equip armed groups to sustain their negative activities against the states and civilians, but they also have a long-term environment impact and undermine the potential for tourism as important source of income for countries concerned. Secondly, terrorist groups have also turned to transnational organized crime to generate funding from their violent acts. While the links between terrorism and transnational crime are often opportunistic, this nexus is nevertheless a cause of deep concern as it complicates response measures. These links have manifested in different ways. In the Sahel region, alliances between criminals and terrorists have emerged and led to the intensification of human and drug trafficking in the region. In the Horn of Africa, Al-Shabaab finances its operation in addition to the taxing the local people through various criminal activities, but most prominently through controlling and taxing the charcoal trade, which involves criminal actors in a number of countries. The resources that Al-Shabaab accesses through the charcoal trade significantly undermine peace-building, reconciliation and development effort in Somalia and endangers the Somali forces and African Union troops within AMISOM. Another link between terrorism and transnational organized crime that applies in almost all regions of the continent is the illicit supply of weapons and ammunition. Whether armaments are diverted from legal stockpiles or traded illicitly across the continent, they ultimately made their way to terrorist groups through organized criminal syndicates that operate regionally and globally. Finally, the illicit financial flows created by transnational organized crime has long-term consequences for governance and the rule of law, including bolstering corruption and money laundering, eroding the potential of international investment and impeding economic development. Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, these are the realities that propelled the African Union Assembly to establish AFRIPOL, an institution that promotes interstate cooperation and upholds the principle of the rule of law. Indeed, AFRIPOL provides the opportunity for greater cooperation between the police agencies on the continent to prevent and combat these threats. Whereas the AFRIPOL Secretariat has been operational for just 1 year and 3 months today, it has, during this period, made commendable steps in engaging with the police experts of member states to identify priority areas in preventing and combating transnational organized crime in the continent. The Secretariat held training and capacity building workshops for police experts in various fields in 2017 and 2018, which came with a strong recommendation on strengthening capacities of the police agencies in a sustainable manner. As part of the efforts to develop and enhance cooperation internationally, the Secretariat is concluding a memorandum of understanding with Interpol, specifically on sharing of information and data. It is noted that the African Union has a long-standing cooperation with Interpol, as just has been indicated by our good friend, the Secretary General here present with us. And it explains the key role that Interpol has played in the conceptualization and now operationalization of AFRIPOL. I wish to personally thank our good friend Jürgen Stock, the Secretary General, for the support he has personally spearheaded. His presence here today further reaffirms this commitment. We want to continue counting on Interpol's as global leader on police cooperation for a greater and stronger partnership with AFRIPOL. At the continental level, the desired enhancement cooperation between and among the police agencies will be strengthened through exchange of information and data on criminals and terrorists and their groups. The AFRIPOL Secretariat has developed the African Police Communication System, AFESCOM, to address the need easy and secure communication. Experts from those member states that have established their AFRIPOL National Liaison Office, which is a key national structure of AFRIPOL, have received training on the application of this system. They have also received the basic equipment to facilitate communication and sharing of information and data. I therefore encourage those countries that have not yet established their AFRIPOL National Liaison Office to do so as soon as possible. Allow me at this juncture to thank the Algerian police for the generous contribution of the basic communication equipment which has been made available to member states as part of the operationalization of AFRIPOL and its system AFESCOM. The countries have been trained, have received this equipment. The African Union Commission has also allocated some funding for the next year to facilitate the introduction of components of the system, and it is hoped that AFESCOM will be fully operational by 2020. Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I wish to underline the important contribution of African police to achieving the objective of silencing the guns by 2020, mainly through its proximity with local communities in not only providing security and order, but also promoting the ownership of the African architecture for peace and security, APSA, including the noble objectives of AFRIPOL. Let me also call upon you to renew commitment to AFRIPOL so that we can achieve that vision that led to its establishment. Our efforts should enable us to work with each other as police agencies and, importantly, with the range of national institutions concerned, the private sector and civil society, including through investing in crime prevention approaches. I strongly encourage this General Assembly to reflect on the range of integrated crime prevention and response approaches required to strengthen our effort, indeed with the full respect of human rights, while adhering to the principles of human rights, the rule of law and good governance as enshrined in the African Union instruments. We have no alternative. AFRIPOL has to lead and to deliver. I wish you a fruitful deliberation and thank you for your kind attention.